those things that you're looking at as roadblocks are going to be removed, man.
And I'm digging down the hill, like I'm fucking hitting it. And all of a sudden, I stop. And I stop because I hit him. Dope tat, still, she's probably gonna cry. It's been so long.
How long's it been since you got your last tattoo?
Man,
I thought you told me 12 years.
it's been,
10 years,
I
10
got,
years, 12 years.
I got this tattoo. I got Ariel's name when she was like 1. She's 13.
So what's the tattoo you getting now?
I'll get my other daughter's name.
Okay.
Because I told my wife I wouldn't get another tattoo until I got her tattoo. And now she's super coherent.
Mm-hmm.
So if I came in with like a tattoo that meant something else to me, she'd be like, "Oh, so you got a tattoo, huh?
Yeah.
So you got that Ariel over there, right? Yeah. But where's Estelle at? You only got 2 kids. You could have, damn it." So I was like, "All right, I'm going to get that knocked out." And maybe I hope it don't start something.
Oh, you getting a bunch of tattoos?
I mean, yeah, because like I basically let my soul get crushed and decided to go corporate in life. You know what I mean? Like I was going to be a fucking collision repair guy or estimator or something, and I was going to be, I didn't want to scare off squares with my tattoos, so I was going to, chill out, right? And just, I got the Jesus piece right here, you know what I'm saying? I'm not really on that right now, you know what I'm saying? But I do got a lot of tattoos. It's kind of like, I was just doing some shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Well, Boudro told me a story about a comedian who has a bunch of tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Oh, what do your tattoos mean?" He's like, "This one means I had $100 one time."
Mm-hmm.
What's that one mean? It means I had
150, yeah.
Yeah.
Lover tattoos. Are they bad luck?
Yeah, if you want your relationship over, that's
Yeah,
the tattoo to get.
I suggested it to my wife. She was like, "Hey, didn't you say that was bad luck?" I was like, "Yeah, I did." And I'm gonna ask Boodro to make sure. I was just seeing where your head was at.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it also depends on, like, if you're getting it as a way to save the relationship.
No, yeah, definitely not.
Yeah, it's definitely not going to work.
Nah.
But I mean, the thing about it, man, is like, so I have a couple's tattoo that it didn't work, obviously, but it wasn't a name, but I don't know, man. I think that's a superstition. I do think that there are people that they put a lot more weight into what the meaning of the tattoo is versus like we just got it because we want to,
remember the relationship.
Yeah. But I mean, to me, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do a symbol. I'm not going to do a name because then I'll end up being one of those people with a bunch of red lines across stuff.
And at this point, I wouldn't even mind
talking like I'm a player.
I haven't had that many real relationships.
Like Memento.
Yeah.
And so, like, I recently became familiar with the law of detachment.
Okay.
And
tell me about that.
The law of detachment is like, I'm paraphrasing, but basically nothing or nobody belongs to anybody.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Not your kids, not your parents. You don't have any hold over them. They're not entitled to be in your life because somehow, some way, life is going to separate y'all, whether it be like, for instance, my kids are going to grow up. I can't do shit. I can't keep them from moving to Atlanta and starting a family and only seeing me on Thanksgiving and my birthday. I'm still
essential.
I'm peak. I'm in peak parent mode with them two. I'm at the, like, we ain't, like, we're not, we're in it. We're right in the middle of this shit of childhood anyway. And because I'm still going to be their parent, but it's just one of them things where that helped me to realize or to kind of come to terms with a lot of shit in my personal life. Like, I don't, like, you see people in relationships, their wife wake up one day and realize she don't want to be in a relationship no more, and the husband wig out and do some wild shit. That's because he had his identity wrapped up into her and his marriage, as opposed to having his identity wrapped up into himself.
So when did this discussion of detachment start coming up for you?
Probably when I started taking I always took my comedy career serious, even when I shouldn't have. You know what I'm saying? Even when I was like,
you came in serious.
Yeah, like I was like, I'm gonna be a comedy guy. You know what I'm saying? That's it. And then I realized I'm gonna be, if I want to grow this thing, that's gonna require me to be on the road, and it's gonna require me to be on the road a lot. Mm-hmm. And I gotta understand that my wife married a machine operator.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She didn't marry
She married a 9-to-5 machine operator, not a guy who's
Not-
gone
yeah.
4 days a week.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Or more. You know
Or
what I'm
more
saying?
if you get lucky.
Yeah. So I had to, you know what I'm saying? I had to realize like, I ain't letting this shit go. But I don't have no control over whether I have to let her go or not. It would be unhealthy to hold on to her
If she didn't want to.
if she didn't want to be held on to. But if she wants to be held on to, and it helped me to realize that nobody owes anybody their presence. So when you have somebody's presence, do the most you can with it. Don't be a dickhead. Be an appreciative person. Be somebody that people want to be around. Because a lot of times
gratitude is big.
Gratitude is big, and a lot of times, like parents have the concept that because I'm your parent, you got to be around me.
Mm-hmm.
I can talk. I can say whatever I want to say. I can act how I want to act. I can throw tantrums. I can call you names.
And to a point, that is very true.
Right.
Until a point.
Until a point.
And now, so that's how I feel with my kids now. Is like, I know when we spend time together, it's because they want to. Seth told me you did a bit the other day about a house fire.
Yeah.
But I haven't heard it because I haven't been.
Right.
Can you tell me that story? Tell me what's going on.
All right. So I'm in there. Me and JD done got pretty cool on the game and shit. You know, we're pretty cool in real life. So we playing the game together now, right? And so every Thursday I got rituals. I like to play the game if I'm going to do comedy that night to kind of keep me from thinking about comedy for 2 hours.
There you go.
And
nice little distraction.
Yeah. And so but the UCC coming up. I'm going to that. I'm going to check out that first round. And I'm sitting there playing the game with JD and a buddy, Mark, I'll say his name. And the fire alarm go off. And my house ain't big enough to where I don't smell smoke coming from the kitchen before I hear the fire alarm.
Right.
So that threw me off. Because I was like, why the fuck? I was like, nobody burning shit. I don't see no smoke. So I get up and go in the kitchen. I'm like, hey, who burning something? And it's still like, oh, I ain't burning nothing. I just cooked some pizza in the microwave, and I'm thinking, and I ain't burning. Look, and I'm like, yo, that's perfect. I'm like, you did a great job. Like, you know what? Once I figure out what the fuck is going on, I might need to just microwave me one too. And so I go back in the hallway, and now I'm smelling smoke. And I'm like, oh, okay, fuck, you know what I'm saying? But it smells chemically. Like it smells like plastic. And so I go and I go in the back of the house, and Ariel in the room. I'm like, Ariel, what are you back here burning? What are you doing? And she's like, I ain't burning nothing. I'm like, yo, why the fuck is the fire alarm going off? And I look to the left in my bedroom, and I see like a light. I see a glow coming out of the bathroom, like candlelight.
Okay.
And I'm like, who the fuck is light candles in here? I ain't lit no candle.
Yeah.
And I go back there, and the floor is on fire.
The floor.
Yeah, and I'm like, why? And my mom like, why the fuck is the floor on fire? What's happening?
Right. And
I look up, and the ceiling fan, the exhaust fan, had fell out of the ceiling and then onto the floor, and it was on fire in the roof. Like, so, yeah. So I got the floor fire out because I had some old coffee sitting on. I grabbed that coffee pot and I threw that shit on there. And I went and I was trying to put water in the pot, and I was like, fuck. And I was like, what am I gonna do? I can't throw this shit up there.
Yeah.
Let me go next door because my wife's mother lived next door. I'm like, let me go get her a fire extinguisher, and I'll try it like that. And then I was like, where your fire extinguisher at? She was like, I don't know. I don't got one. I'm like, God damn it. And when I came back outside.
I like that you were upset with her for not having a fire extinguisher when you ain't got one.
See, we did, but I just didn't know where it was at. And I was panicking, right? I was like, she would more likely know where her shit is at. And I don't want to be wasting precious time looking for our fucking fire extinguisher and the house is burning down. And so the whole time the girls was freaking out. Like Estelle, she just screamed and shit. And she's like, the house. I'm like, the house on fire. She's like, oh, I'm like, just go outside. You don't even see the fire. Just go outside.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you just go outside, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
And so it's just then my sister-in-law was pulling up with her kids and my nieces and nephews and shit. And when I came back out of her house, out of my mother-in-law's house, I saw the smoke coming out of the roof, coming out from under the roof, and I was like, well, fuck, bro.
Yeah.
And I was like, I guess I just gotta fucking call 911. And she was like, oh, I'm already calling them. They're on the way. And I was like, all right, bro. You know what I'm saying? And then I just kind of went in and grabbed, you know what I'm saying, some things.
What'd you grab?
My weed. You know what I didn't want them to like. I had it out, so I didn't want to like. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want the fire department all through my shit. And
that's CBD.
You're right. Yeah.
So you grab your weed. What else do you grab?
I grab like my journals and shit, and I'm out. You know what I'm saying? I just grab anything I don't want to burn up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or like, oh, I don't want like law enforcement to see. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know the rules. The sheriff might come in here. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? How this shit goes. And so I just and so like, you know, once the fire department pulled up, they were like, "What's going on?" I was like, "Man, you know, I got a fire. What I'm assuming is a malfunction from a part malfunction or something. It's not electrical." And like, I was like, "Nah, everything is still on. The game is still on. Like I'm sure JD heard the first 30 seconds of what was going on,
right?
Because I had my headset on and I had my controller in my hand the whole time. So I'm sure he was like, "Yo, what the fuck?" Because I know they probably heard the still scream. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm just like, all right, boot from the chat. Just boot him. Just boot him from the chat.
So boot him from the chat, yeah.
So we don't got to hear this no more.
We can't be dealing with this shit.
Right. We can't be, you know, because this motherfucker died.
I don't know what he got going on.
Right.
But I don't want to deal with it.
We got to get our rep up on Need for Speed Heat, goddamn. We don't got time for this trauma. And so it's hilarious when I tell it in front of a crowd. But like, I haven't been working it as much because we're still kind of like, we just got back in the room. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just got back in the bedroom like a week ago.
Wow. So, everything okay?
Yeah, everything is okay.
How bad did it get?
They had to replace the roof in the bathroom, the ceiling in the bathroom.
But what happened when the fire department got there?
Oh,
and they got in?
So I had the front door. I had my back door stay. When I'm at home, my back door is unlocked. I walk in. I keep it open. The screen door's open. You know what I'm saying? We let pressure come in. The fire department gets there. They're in the house. They walk through the back door in the house to see what's going on. They've already inspected the fire and everything. But when they start running hose, they say, "Is the front door unlocked?" No, the back door is. Well, we got to go through the front. And they look at each other like, breach? And like, breach? These motherfuckers kicked the door off the hinges. So basically, we had to stay out of the house for like 4 days because they decided not to, you know, get a key and unlock the front door.
Right.
But they kick that shit in, but they use their tools, their pry tools, because they wanted to use their shit, man.
Yeah.
And I'm not, I mean,
if I got new toys.
Right, you don't get to do shit 90% of the time.
Yeah.
And when you do, and you pull all this shit off the truck, it's like, bro, I got all this shit in my hands.
Yeah.
I gotta clean it before I put it back. Whether I use it or not.
Right. So I'm gonna use it.
Yeah.
Then they had 3 pry bars on that fucking door. Man, they pulled that bitch. They pulled the paint off the fucking hand, off the frame, bro. I was like, God damn, y'all ain't have to do this.
You got 2 girls, right?
Yeah, I got 2 daughters. Yeah. So.
How's that?
I mean, it's cool. They still young, so they not really. Ariana got to the stage where she talks a lot. You know what I'm saying? She tells me about all the teenage drama and shit, and I just be like, whoa, like, bro, why do y'all even care? Like, you're not gonna know any of these people in 10 years. When you're 22, I promise you. But I say that now, but it might be different because of social media and whatnot.
Sure. I mean, Seth has a lot of friends from when he was a kid. I have almost none. I have like 1 or 2 that I connect with on Instagram on occasion, you know.
Right.
I used to tell my kids that too. It's like this heavy shit you think you're dealing with in 4th grade. Like, you ain't gonna know none of these motherfuckers.
I'm starting to forget names.
All we gotta do is move. When we move across town, that's it. Yeah, you're gonna stop calling these little girls and everything because you're not gonna see them on a daily basis. No more, you know what I'm saying?
But that is the whole world at this point, you know. Yeah. There was a point for me when my kids got older and they were like, "Oh, all that shit you said to me was like right." And I'm like, "Yeah, I loved when my kids came back and were like, oh my God, all of that made sense."
I don't necessarily want to keep having kids just to have a boy. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to like I love the kids I got. I would love another kid, even if it was a girl. You know what I'm saying? So having a boy isn't really. And then I look at it like I said, detachment. You know what I'm saying? Just because you have a child doesn't mean that the child is going to like you or you're going to get along with it.
That's scary.
It is scary, but that's the truth of the matter. That's the fact of the matter is just because you bring a person into the world, it doesn't mean y'all going to have the best relationship. And it won't be anything that you did. It won't be anything that kid did. It'll just be 2 souls that don't get along.
I mean, you know, I got 4 and we all got different personalities. And there are things we get along with and things that we don't. And getting to that point where you realize, oh, I don't get to decide who these children are, who these other human beings get to be is
a wild thing, man. Because like you might love basketball.
Right.
But your son's like, fuck basketball,
Yeah.
dude. I like tennis.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he like all the other shit you like. He a lady killer. He do better with the ladies than you do. He just like tennis.
Yeah.
He just don't fuck with basketball.
Yeah.
And then he picks up a basketball. He nice as fuck. He like, oh, you know what? I'm nice at it, so I'll do it.
Yeah.
But he don't like it like that. He like tennis.
Yeah.
But because he's good at it, he does it, and he know you like it, so he like, fuck it, I'll indulge you. You know what I'm saying? I go out here and hit a triple single every now and then in third grade. You know what I'm saying? Just a damn
triple single.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? 5, 5, and 5. That's a big stat when the score is 24, 24 and it's 4 quarters. And so
that kind of goes back like what we were saying earlier, the acceptance portion as you get older. So, you know, like getting to an older point, you know, accepting your children having those different personality types, those abilities to disagree, those abilities to make decisions on their own. Because you said you're in the thick of it right now. You know, so how long are you away to, or how long are you away from your children making a decision that really pisses you off in their life? You know,
shit. I mean, goddamn.
Yeah.
Today, you know what I'm saying? If we're being honest, like I could go home and be like, God damn it. I gotta call the fucking police on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got no options. You leaving me no options. I had to call the fire department, and that because like when I realized I had to call the fire department, I felt defeated.
Really?
I was like, God damn, I gotta call the fucking fire. This shit costs money.
Yeah.
Maybe not won't cost me money.
Right.
This time.
It's money.
But next time, they're gonna be like, hey, goddamn, this is your bill. First time's free, second time, you gotta pay for this shit.
Yeah.
That's how they hook you. The first one's free.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Friend prices.
Yeah.
Right.
Fire department prices.
Right.
Somebody's got to make those subs, dude.
Yeah.
Stupid.
And so like, man, so being a girl dad is cool, and having coached you football, it gave me really all the knowledge I needed to about little boys. I was like, oh, these little motherfuckers is hype.
They're wild.
Yeah, like I'm a low energy guy now. You know what I'm saying? Like, so girls are right up my alley because they ain't really high. Everything they'll fight, they'll get high and they'll yell and like and curse and do stuff they not supposed to do. But little boys are dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Like they're dangerous to themselves and others at all times, most of the time.
I saw there's some little boys throwing rocks at each other the other day.
Yeah, for fun.
Yeah, I was like, "What are you doing?" There was there was 5 of these little motherfuckers, man. I was just trying to take a nap, and it was raining out, but I could still hear kids, and I'm like, "Why am I hearing kids in the rain?" I look outside. One of these motherfuckers only got shorts on. He's running through the water, and then we got this little sewer drain, but it backs up, so the water comes up. The other kids were throwing rocks at him, beating him up. And then what he did is he got on all fours. He got down in the water, sucked it up, and started spitting it at him. And I was like, yo, I opened the door. I was like, y'all need to knock it out. Knock it out. Because he said, they're beating me up. I was like, you knock it off. I was like, you got a home? He said, yeah. I was like, go to it. Well, you got to go home. But then I thought about it. I was like, this little kid, man, I was like, this little motherfucker got some problems. But then I remember being a kid getting beat up.
Right. And you're going to do what you got to do.
You got to do what you got to do. Sometimes you got to pull out a weird defense.
When they beat you up for being weird, how do you defend yourself? You get weird as fuck.
You get weirder, man. Yeah. Because they were all like, oh, my God, he's spitting disease water at us.
Yeah, he's spitting malaria water at us.
That's right. Damn right I will, like a fucking sprinkler head.
Yep. Man. Every time. Just know that. You know?
Yeah. But that's little boys, you know what I mean? But little girls, they're going to be out there hurting each other's feelings. You know what I'm saying? Saying some hot shit.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah.
Bone, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. So I'll tell y'all. My wife might watch this podcast. She might not. I don't know if you're going to agree with me telling y'all, but I got to.
All right.
So kids got phones now.
Okay.
The reason bullying is an issue is because that shit don't stop when they go home.
Right.
It increases like tenfold when they get home.
Because now they just clickety-clacking on the fucking
on
keyboard.
Instagram, on group chats, and they're putting a victim in a group chat and just teeing off on the victim. And then when shit goes left, like my daughter got into it, my youngest daughter got into it with her good friend. One day I'm getting out of the shower, getting ready to go to a show, and she's on the phone, and I'm coming up the hallway, and I hear, "Welcome to Death Row, bitch." And I was like, yo,
welcome to Death Row, like we always do about this time.
Yeah, I was like, yo, who is that? And the little girl, she was like, and hung up. And my daughter said the girl name, and I was like, yo, I know y'all be cursing at each other, because ain't no way. She said that shit way too smooth.
Yeah,
I was
casual.
on the phone with Suge Knight.
Right, for me to sit here and believe you not cursing too. Okay.
Yeah.
You're my kid, all right?
Yeah.
And honestly, I started cursing probably about a year later in your life.
Yeah.
So girls
It's
are
about
faster
time.
than boys. I curse, you know what I'm saying, like a sailor, because I'm on PlayStation Network. Man, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Kill that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So she knows, and she's been able to curse in context basically since she was 3. Like she could use fuck in an appropriate, you know what I'm saying? Not in reference to sex, but like something you had to break real hard. What the fuck?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so when she gets older, she's not gonna be the person you wanna like. She's gonna be her significant other's plates in the back. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, she gonna be the one that wanna send plates back and shit. I don't play that shit. My wife don't play that shit either, but she don't act like either one of us. This is the daughter my daddy wanted, but never, you know what I'm saying, but didn't get, you know what I'm saying?
Is it wild to see? It's crazy to see their personalities start to be their own and not reflections of yours.
I mean, see, that's the thing. I always, like I said, I came from the era where kids had to shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Your personality, fuck your personality. You know what I mean?
Fuck your personality.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. And then you talk, and when somebody talking to you, you talk. I'm like, is it shut the fuck up or talk with somebody talking to me? Because you said shut the fuck up, and I feel like this is a trap.
Yeah.
But anyway. And so I felt like, you know what I'm saying, just growing up in Mississippi, you know, growing up in North Carolina, and then growing up in a urban household in Brooklyn, New York, you know what I'm saying, my personality got squashed a little bit as a kid. I didn't really get a chance to develop it because it was a cornball. Like, it was like I was being raised by a cool ass Squidward, but I was SpongeBob. Right. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like my daddy a cool ass guy, but he kind of, you know, ho hum. No, but he really silly. But when you're a kid, he not gonna let you. He not gonna be but so silly.
He gotta protect you.
Yeah, he got it. For one, my dad was a father first. Like, he my friend now because I'm a grown man. Yeah. But when I was a kid, he had to let it be known, like, motherfucker, I'm the adult. Yeah. You the kid. I'm gonna tell you to do some shit, and if you don't do it, we're gonna have an issue.
Where were you with your kids as far as being the adult versus?
I try to listen to them a little bit more and get in more and be a little softer, but that shit don't work a lot.
It's so difficult, man.
Yeah.
I constantly say, like, one of the only regrets I have so many things I should regret, but one of the only things I really do regret is that I wasn't softer and more vulnerable and more loving towards my children. Right. I was always honest with them. I was always there, but I ruled with fear. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I was so scared that bad things were going to happen to them that I was like,
and they don't get that.
I was like, rah, 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 to everybody, including them.
Yeah, they don't understand that.
They do when they get older.
Yeah, but in the moment, they don't understand. Like, I'm flying off the handle because you could have just got abducted. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And if you get abducted, I'm not Liam Neeson. Right. I don't have a specific set of skills. I do, but they don't. None of them are going to help me get you back.
I mean, I can make them laugh.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I can hope they're like, you know what, this is a funny motherfucker.
Let's leave his kid.
Yeah. You know what? Here's your kid back, bro.
You better hope your abductors are comedy fans.
Yeah. And they watch YouTube and they know me. You know what I'm saying? You better hope they idiot box regulars. Otherwise, you like, Estelle, hey, wait a minute. Is your dad Eric Brown? Does he have pretty eyes? Whoa, turn this dad around. Not you.
Does your dad have heteroiridium coronium?
Yeah, right. And she be like, I don't know. Does he? Goddamn it. What? I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know his act.
Right.
Is he still doing that? Right. She's like, is he still doing
that? Your dad ain't got a new fork? Yeah, I mean, it is wild, you know, but that's why I really appreciate getting to be friends with my kids now, you know. But it is wild, that line you got to draw between. So you and your dad are friends now?
Yeah, I mean, we was like, he raised me. He did raise me. He was like he wasn't. He had his 90s dad's moments and shit. But then, for the most part, I gotta say that he was an A1 father, even though he had his faults, because he didn't have an example. That he didn't have a good example. I'll say that. You know what I'm saying? At least that's what they tell me.
I mean,
I don't want to speak ill on the dead, but
yeah, sure.
I never met the man, so that should tell you right there that he didn't take good enough care of himself to be alive to meet all of his grandkids in any form. He died. Oh shit! Ooh,
it's so wild
to. If I make it out of this year, God willing, I beat my granddad.
Okay.
I think he died at 39.
I'd like to beat my granddad, but like in a fight. It's wild, man. My son has, I don't know. It's just when your kids get older, it's just it's so crazy. So do your kids already have ideas of what they want when they get to be adults? Or are they still just in the moment? And
they still kind of in the moment. I'm noticing things about them and trying to kind of encourage them. I'm telling my oldest daughter, I'm like, you like art, you like it. So if you do something that you like for money when you get older, you won't hate it as much when you start doing it for money.
Sure, yeah.
Now, if you do something you love, you'll end up making money and you won't hate making money. You'll just have more money than you know what to do with because you always do something you love.
It'll just be a byproduct of a thing you naturally want to do.
Exactly.
So thinking about that, then, this is the perfect time to ask this question. Looking at your kids at 9 and 13 years old and trying to encourage them to kind of chase their passions. If you go back and tell the 17, 18-year-old EB, go tell him some stuff. You got like 30 seconds to go back.
Like 17-year-old EB?
Yeah. You got 30 seconds.
You don't got to be wound up in nobody but yourself. You don't have to please anybody but yourself. You don't got to prove shit to nobody but you. Once you figure that out, you'll figure out how to be happy on command. And you'll start to figure out what it is you want out of life.
5 seconds.
So, fuck everybody else. I could have did a lot of shit to make my life better, and I chose to ignore it or not do it or fail to keep the discipline to do it.
So how do you implement that shit now? The discipline.
I implement it as I try to implement it in the house as a father, you know what I'm saying, and as a husband, and I implement it in comedy. You know what I'm saying, like.
I got this. If you would have had it earlier, would you still have it?
Right.
I would think.
Think about Eric Brown then. Think about Eric Brown now.
I think not having it then made me a better version of myself now. Because had I been super disciplined, I'd have went to work, saved my money, bought a house, and just wouldn't allow myself to dream.
It's always like I was talking to somebody the other day about like relationships. You meet somebody young. You meet somebody when you're young. You have that relationship. And then when you get a little bit older, you're like, man, I didn't get to be young.
Yeah.
But then if you're young and you're wild, when you get older, you really appreciate that relationship. It's just, regardless of what you do, there's consequences.
Yep.
And you're going to deal with them no matter what. And, I don't know, man. Like, life has been pretty fucking crazy and wild for everybody.
Right.
But you don't get to where you don't get to be who you are without going through the shit you've gone through,
Exactly. So like I had it like what I feel are regrets aren't regrets as lessons, and I apply those lessons to 40-year-old Eric, because like if 20-year-old Eric would have had a kid, it might not have went as well as it did for 26-year-old Eric.
Yeah.
And if 26-year-old Eric would have had a son instead of a daughter, he would have forced him to play football or wrestle or something like that. He might have been in the damn sculpting and damn trains, and he might be an engineer, and I'm trying to damn get his kid brain damage.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like working against him because I'm not letting him be who he is. And like, so now I know if we did have another kid and it was a son, I know that I got enough sense to know that even though I love football and I coach you football and I consider myself to be a good coach because I'm a purist. I'm not in it for wins and losses. I'm in it to damn teach the game, and and for kids to develop bonds. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But if he didn't want to play football, I'm not.
Things happen when they're supposed to happen, right?
Yep.
I mean, I had my first kid when I was 18 years old.
Yeah. And
I can't say I think about this now. I do not want kids now. I'm too old for it. I don't have the energy to clean my house. You know
right.
I definitely don't have the energy to clean up after children and chase them and blah blah blah. But you know, I was 18 years old. I had 4 kids by the time I was 23 years old.
Right.
And I know I would be a much different father now. I hope I would be much better, but I would only be much better because I already
You had experience. You
had the
learned.
experience.
So like,
You've had your fuck up round.
Yeah.
and,
You know?
yeah.
And
And
then
hopefully they recover from my fuck ups, you know, and that's really what it is.
Because in hindsight, my dad was an excellent dad. He just, I hate to say it like this, my personality is I'm more sensitive. Like you can't talk crazy to me and then expect me to respond to you. Like, cause I'm just thinking about how crazy you just are. Like, oh, you just called me you just called me a stupid motherfucker. Like, never mind what you asked me. Why am I a stupid motherfucker? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I know I broke the fucking vase and put it back together, but damn, look how you acting right now.
So now with your children, when things like that come up, are you very cognizant of your reactions to that? Whereas when you would do a thing when you were younger, you would get called a stupid motherfucker, but now
like I would never call them a name. You know what I'm saying? I would never like and that's not even to say that my daddy even called me that, but
right.
But I'm sure, but he says motherfucker a lot. You know what
but so I tend to look at that shit as kind of like a gift, right? Like I feel so many people always used to say when I was a kid, they would be like, oh, I mean, I die for my kids.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't have to. I went through some crazy fucking shit as a kid so that my kids didn't have to. And I would do it all over again. I go through all that bad shit so that my kids didn't have to. And so you get to eat those experiences so that your kids don't have to experience them. And I think it's really a gift.
And like I said, in hindsight, I know now that he is a good, because my dad whooped me. I got dad fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's a bit I barely do. But he only whooped me. I can only remember him trying to whoop me that one time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And maybe one other time. He hated it. Like he was the type that would hit you 3 times, tell you you're on punishment for a week, and then once you get too quiet, peek in the room, be like, hey, what you doing? You want to watch videos with me? Oh, you said I couldn't watch TV. He's like, oh, yo, you can watch TV with me. Just come on. Yeah. I was like, and then
is that confusing for you when you're a kid? I always felt like it was confusing to my kids to do that. So I had to stick with what I had to train myself that whatever punishment I threw out, we had to stick with. And that was probably a mistake, but there's no real good way to handle that.
I had got my ass whooped, so it wasn't like I didn't forget that, and I didn't forget why I got my ass whooped. Right. So it was confusing, but it was kind of like I think he was more or less like, all right, now I'm punishing me.
Yeah. Because
there's only me and him in this house.
Yeah.
And I want to talk to this dude, and I don't want him to hate me.
Yeah.
In about 10 years when he old enough to throw punches back, and I got you know what I'm saying, and I got to fucking dodge these bitches or survive them and throw mine back.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I think I had a misconception of that, like the way I would take things being said, that my children would take those things the same way.
Yeah.
You know, not realizing that they're that different personality that might not.
Right.
You know, even though I'm sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, you know, it's a throwaway statement, whatever. Yeah, it's not that serious and all. And man, you know, and like now I got to live with that, you know, and hopefully one day I get to make that up. But if I don't, like, fuck, it was my bad. You know, it was 100% my fault because I didn't take into account that they are that different personality type that, you know, doesn't really dig what dad's saying right now, you know?
Exactly. The idea of saying something is 100% my fault is a completely new concept to me, by the way. You know what I mean? Yeah. Before my 30s, I never once in my life thought anything was 100% my fault.
Man, I got to 30, 31, 32, and I was like, yo. Like, if I'm dissatisfied with this shit, I fucked up. I did this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't blame, you know what I'm saying? Because I chose Danielle. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't
Yeah. It's my reactions.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I chose to get her pregnant. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what people don't understand. People say women trap men with babies. Probably. But I guarantee you the ratio is as high. Like, men create pregnancies all the time. Seth, I just want you to know that. You know what I'm saying? So, like, when you and Maisie have a baby, it'll be like, she'll be like, oh, I'm on my birth control or whatever it is you guys do. And you'll be like, okay. And then you'll be right about the damn climax. You'll be like, she's off her birth control. I'd be a pretty good dad.
Seth, just so you know, if a girl's on antibiotics, her
She's
birth
on birth
control,
control.
doesn't work.
Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? Congratulations. Happy birthday, Ariel.
I love that Seth. It's about time Seth got the birds and the bees.
Yeah.
You said a little bit
Real
ago.
birds and the bees.
You said a little bit ago that you're a sensitive dude, and then you brought up being depressed in your early 30s, and we've had some conversations.
I like to amend that statement. I am a sensitive dude, but I am also very nonchalant. All right?
What do you mean?
Like, sometimes the things that hurt other people roll off my back like a duck.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And then sometimes things that you might think is light will offend me deeply.
Okay.
I may not react just because I don't like to give anybody the power to get me to react. You know, to get me out of my character. You know what I'm saying? I react when I want to. I don't dance if I don't hear music and whatever else that guy said. You know what I'm saying?
So where are you? You know, like I said, we've had some conversations about mental health in the past. Where are you with that?
Man,
now, if you feel comfortable talking about it.
I looked up Better Health and I was like, yeah, I can't. I ain't paying for that right now.
So we're talking about therapy again.
Yeah.
Because we talked about therapy. That's right. We talked about therapy a while back, and you were just like, I can't afford it.
Right.
I said, have you looked it up? And you said, no.
I looked into it. I wanted to see if I could afford it, and I was like, man, it's still kind of high.
Yeah.
But my wife got my water.
That's
Sorry,
all right.
Dad.
No, you're good. We don't give a shit.
Yeah.
We
care, Neil.
What's that?
We care, Neil.
Yeah. So you looked at mental health. You looked at some therapy type stuff, and it just you can't afford it. But so even outside of the therapy though, like your mental health, because you're a pretty mindful dude, and you consider all these things. Where are you with your own outside of therapy and all that stuff? Because you had some pretty big stuff that popped off.
Yeah.
With a friend of yours not that long ago and stuff like that. So
yeah, and that fire shit wasn't cool neither.
right. And so that stuff all kind of fucks you up. Where are you? How do you feel? And like, what's going on with you?
I do feel like I'm in a good place mentally. Me and my wife, we communicate often. You know what I'm saying? Like, we try not to overdo it. We try not to talk to each other if we too pressed about a situation. You know
That's
what I mean?
Communication too, right?
Yeah.
Like
Knowing
saying-
when not to say nothing.
Healthy communication. Yeah.
Because like wanting to talk when the other person don't want to talk about it is not you're really just being a bully at this point.
And then I'm going to say some things that I don't necessarily mean.
Yeah, or
I don't.
don't, or
I
you
haven't.
gonna-
You're gonna say whatever you got to say to shut that other person the fuck up.
Yeah. How do I make this stop? Yeah.
Yeah. How do I don't want to talk no more. So
And
I'm
a
just
lot of
gonna
times
say-
that's hurtful. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say something ridiculous.
Yeah. I got a track record of that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that you at least be quiet.
I'm real good at it.
You know what I'm saying? And so I would say that the scale of 1 to 10, I feel like I'm at an 8.
Yeah. Nice.
Like I do feel good. You know, I like I said, the law of attachment has helped me cope with losing my friend. Because at first, I'll admit I was angry with him because I felt like not only did he leave me, you know what I'm saying, he left everybody else. You know what I mean? Like, and then that was one of his things. He felt like everybody just depended on everybody needed him so much, and he could never depend on anybody when he needed somebody. And I was like, bro, that ain't, come on, that's not true. But I was living my life, and he was a considerate person. So he may not want to call me at 11 o'clock to damn pull me away from my family.
To inconvenience you.
Yeah, exactly. Or my wife. You know what I'm saying? Because that might cause a thing like, well, why is he calling you at 11:45 to come and get him from such and such? Are you sure that's him? You know what I mean? And then, so realizing that even though he was my friend, his life didn't belong to me. You know what I'm saying? Right. He didn't owe me anything. He wasn't obligated to be here. He could have woke up that morning and decided to move to fucking Florida and never talk to any of us again.
Right.
And it'd basically be the same effect for me. I would just know that maybe one day I could run into him again.
It's a real big point of emotional maturity there. How do you find that? How do you get there from losing your friend like that to that point of?
I mean, I wallowed in it. I thought about it. I let myself get so caught up in the emotions that I would cry. To the point to where like I would just be having a regular day, and I might think about him or want to call him, and then I would just cry. Like it was. Matter of fact, I tell y'all. I mean, except this might be, you know what I'm saying, that day, one day we were doing a mic at the bar next door. It was the day I did the bit about not crying. I had been crying. I had been crying that whole probably like 2 hours before that, like crying about Mick. You know what I'm saying? And when I got there, I was still my eyes were still wet. And so when it was my turn, I was over there really pulling my shit together. Mm-hmm. And we was using that chair as like a therapy chair. So I laid out in it. And because I was crying, it made me think of the bit about when my daughter told me not to cry. And I was crying telling the bit.
Yeah.
But I was laughing too, and I was laughing hard as shit because it was funny. I was having a good time, but I was crying at the same time. Yeah. And everybody was just like, I guess it looked like I was crying laughing. But I was really like, I was shedding real tears, you know what I'm saying? But after that, I didn't cry. I didn't really cry anymore. You know what I'm saying? And it just like the law of attachment came across my IG feed. And I was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like that motherfucker didn't belong to me. Mm-hmm. He had the right, you know what I'm saying? Even though I don't agree with it and I wished he wouldn't have did it, you know what I'm saying? It was his life. And I wish he was still here right now, but I can't be angry with him for doing that because, you know what I'm saying? I can't be angry with me for not being there for him because I had to detach. You know what I'm saying? I had to not hang out with him so much to go to Mike's on Thursday nights. You know what I'm saying? And then I asked myself, I was like, maybe one day he needed you and you wasn't there. And that might have been a night that you went to the mic and it was 8 people there and you bombed your ass off. But it also might have been a night that you went to the mic and killed for the first time and really set that shit off in your soul. So you had to go to that mic. You had to go to that shitty mic that he needed you at. You know what I'm saying? Because which one was it? You don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, the thing is a telephone works both ways.
It does.
Commitment, resolve, communication, all these things work both ways, you know? So the main thing that you don't have the other end of the story.
Right. I don't have it all. I don't have all the facts on there.
You don't. Yeah. You know, so you have your side that you're sitting there and you're looking at the fact that, man, I wasn't there and all that. Maybe you were. Maybe
I was, yeah.
You know, you and the way I look at it is you were there to your ability.
Yeah.
You were there to what
I was
your
available,
commitment to the friendship was.
As much if I was gonna hang out with anybody randomly, you know what I'm saying, and do nothing but drink beer and smoke pot, it was gonna be him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know, so where was like you're never gonna know where the disconnect was.
Yeah.
You know, and so the acceptance, man, that's gonna be the hard pill to swallow, but that's really the only resolution to where you can kind of start to move past it, you know, and start to become happy with where you are, happy with your situation, you know. I mean, the thing is, you know, if you're spending all your time with him, do you have your second daughter? You know,
right,
do you have comedy? Do you have the friends you have now? You know, so it's.
Yeah, and that's.
You said something really interesting a little bit ago about being on stage and crying there and then not crying again. And that goes to my point earlier about not crying at that funeral. You know, sometimes you need that release. You need that that cathartic experience to get it out of your system. You know, and to be perfectly honest with you, man, I'm the fact that you're talking about, you know, crying right before you go on stage. I'm really proud that I'm proud of you for continuing to go and getting up in that day, because those days are hard to do it. And you know, the amount of times I've gone to the open mics at the Idiot Box and been crying as I walk in is, I can't even tell you the amount of times that happens to me. You know what I mean? And in those days, to be perfectly honest with you, I mean, when I go in and I've been crying all day and I still get up and I get those laughs with you guys, it's so big for me, man. Yeah. You do need that closure. You do need to have those. And it's so fucking healthy for you guys to be sharing those fucking moments with each other as well. And crying with your friends is a thing I wish I'd have gotten to a lot earlier in my life. And
it's crazy because that day I was crying in the shower and I was like, fuck, Trinity was right.
It is one of the better places.
This shit is luxurious.
Yeah, if you ain't crying in the shower, you got to do it. The only thing, you know, there's 9 places that are better than to cry at. You know, the shower is number 10. The bath is next. It's different. I had a list for a while. What he's talking about, I used to do this bit on stage about top 10 places to cry. And I'm like, number 10, we all know it. It's the shower.
Yeah.
Number 9, the bath. It's different. Which is always fun. And then I just named some random places after that. Because I cried in a Lamborghini one time, and I wanted to get to that.
Who's Lamborghini?
It was my buddy Daniels. He took me out. And I don't know, I was just having a day. But he was like, how fast have you gone in the car before? I was like, well, I used to drink.
I've done this before.
Yeah, but then it went really fast, and for some reason, man, I got emotional and I cried a little bit. And then so number 1 on the list is number 1, you ever cried in a Lamborghini? Oh boy, you know what I mean? This whole thing. But the fact that you're out there doing that, you know, I love that shit, man.
So whenever it comes to the mental health and you say you can't afford a therapist, okay? One, yeah, you can.
Yes, agreed.
Like if you're waiting to afford something to be able to do it,
That's like waiting to be ready.
Yeah.
you're never gonna do it.
Because I wasn't ready to do comedy.
Yeah. But people, you know how many people wait till they're ready to do comedy and then never do it? You can't wait till you're ready, and you can't wait till
you're good.
Can't wait
either.
till you.
Boudreaux is right. You can't wait till you
can
afford it. Yeah.
So, and then the other portion is look into like adult health spaces, like adult health centers.
Yeah.
Monarch, right downtown, it's free.
They'll have groups that you meet. You ain't got to be you. You can be whoever you want to be.
Right.
You go in there, man, and like it helps. Like it
Richard Robichaud.
But I mean, it's if you're waiting for the $10, whoever can spell Robichaud.
Actually, it's probably different words. ROBICHUX.
Okay.
CHAUX.
Oh, man, you cool.
EAUX. I have
You're probably right though. It's probably E in there. Go.
But yeah, no, you like I know, but there is availability. Like
Yeah,
I can
there's
tell you
options.
right now, man. You go and you talk to your wife. You said y'all are open communicators. You sit down and you say, "Hey, I think I need to do something that'd be healthy for my mental space." There's gonna be space made. There's gonna be finances made. There's gonna be those things that you're looking at as roadblocks.
Yeah.
Are going to be removed, man. And the thing about it, y'all can do it as a couple.
We were talking about earlier, like if you want a thing, you start seeing it more often. Like if you want to, and you'll figure out ways to do that. But also, I think that's just an important thing to say because that's true for everybody. And what I used to do, man, was when I was feeling good, I knew I didn't need therapy, and when I was feeling bad, I knew I absolutely did. And I was wrong 100% of that time. Like I needed it the whole fucking time. And when I was good, when I felt good, was when I should have been doing the work to set up for when So the fact that you're at an 8 right now, you feel all right. It's probably a good time to revisit all this.
Find a therapist. Well, I'm not. You know what I'm saying?
Because I go there in Huntsville. There's an adult health center, and I go and. Which I haven't been in a while. That's on me. But I go and I sit down and you can talk if you want to talk. That's another thing. You ain't got to say shit. You just sit there and just listen to other people that are way more fucked up than you.
Yeah.
Sometimes that perspective really helps.
Dude,
There's
so much.
a couple free ones here in town that I was going to for a while, and at the very least, you end up with pretty decent material.
And I wish, my homeboy, I wish Mick would have got, more professional help. And I wish I'd have took him serious, you know what I'm saying? Because you don't realize nobody had ever said no shit like that to me before. So I was like, nah, this motherfucker ain't serious. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe he is, but maybe he ain't gonna, you know what I mean? But then it was shit like, like he wouldn't allow anybody to leave him alone with a gun in the last few years of his life. Like don't have it in his car without you in it. You know what I mean? He wouldn't he drank a lot. He stopped eating. But that was normal because in our 20s, he went through a phase where he just would but now I know now he was fucking depressed. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know that then. But now I'm like, yo, I'm just being, because I wasn't depressed. I was just, like I said, I got a dad who I work with, and he was like he a hard ass, right? But he was very strong about uplifting my self-esteem. You know what I'm saying? He would never let me get down on myself. Like he'd be like, no. You not down. Look at all this other shit you got going on. Yeah, you thinking about this one thing, but motherfucker, you got a job. You good. Nigga, you my son. You know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, bro. You know what I'm saying? Let me buck up a little bit. And then I would look at the other, look at the damn, look over the rainbow. Like, all right, this motherfucker is right. You know what I'm saying? It ain't all bad. I am getting paid Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? I'll be fine.
Yeah. It's interesting, man. It's like a lot of people look at depression and they think, oh,
one size fits all.
Yeah, but it really isn't, man. And that sadness is different than other sadness. I think people who've never been depressed, and I'm so happy for the people who don't understand me when I describe my mental illnesses.
Right.
Like, I used to be upset with them. Like, how the fuck do you not get this?
Right.
But the fact of the matter is, I'm so glad that you don't understand it. When I talk about anxiety or depression or whatever, PTSD, and people don't understand, I used to get upset, and now I'm grateful. I'm glad that they didn't go through the things that got me to that point. But I'm not just sad because woe is me, things are bad. It's, I can't explain to somebody who hasn't experienced it what my brain does to me on a daily basis,
Right.
But that's why I love to talk about it on stage with comedy. And I try to, from now on, a while back, I made a decision to, I went a while where I was only talking about depression to depressed people. I was like trying to make those people feel good and laugh. Mm-hmm. And now I take it from another perspective. When I talk about depression on stage, I'm specifically talking to people who don't understand what I'm talking about.
Right.
Because I know the people who get me are going to laugh at it. And I want the people who don't understand it to have an insight to that friend that they don't necessarily understand. You know what I mean?
Then it's the perspective that people choose it.
Right.
Like, oh, you're choosing to be
depressed. Yeah, get up, go for a walk.
Yeah. Just
like now, because when I was a president, I was not choosing that shit. It just it was just a culmination of like a bunch of like me just living in a comparison state where I'm comparing my life to other people's. You know what I'm saying? Not understanding.
Comparison is a thief of joy.
Yep, comparison, and I hadn't heard that saying at that point in time.
That's why, like I said to you, man, these conversations didn't happen with our grandparents, and the fact that we have them is so big.
I wasn't fulfilled as a person and as a man. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't doing something that made me feel good. Like this might have been before I started. It was before I started coaching. Coaching kind of helped me down, and the funny part about it is Mick coached with me, and when he stopped coaching is when he really got worse.
Yeah.
And when I stopped coaching, I focused on comedy.
Yeah.
I used all that coach time.
Something to replace it.
Yeah. Like it wasn't something to replace it. It was like, I'm doing comedy now. I can't do this coaching shit no more. You know what I'm saying? Like this shit is fun, but this shit is way more like comedy is anxiety inducing for about 30 minutes before you get on stage. And then you do all right. You don't got to kill. You just got to do all right. It's gone. Coaching you football is anxiety inducing all day because you know what I'm saying. I got to make sure all these kids show up for the game. Somebody mama gonna be pissed off about something. Star player gonna be fucking 20 minutes late for check in. The other team, is on our ass right now. We got to win because this is a winning ass team, and they don't accept losing out of 6-year-olds. You know what I'm saying? And so it's so much other shit with it that it balances out the fun. You know what I'm saying? It makes it where if youth football is on a 5-point fun scale for an adult and comedy is a 10, why the fuck would I?
Yeah.
Why would I? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Balance out my fun scale. Why would I pull my fun scale down 2.5 points?
Right.
That sounds scary. Putting like your anxiety and all that on 6-year-old kids too. It depends on them.
It is because if they decide it's over.
Yeah.
Guess what?
It's over.
It's over. And it ain't nothing you can do about it. Ain't nothing mama can do about it, and ain't nothing daddy can do about it. If little Shine want to sit down in the middle of the field, guess what he doing? He's sitting down, and only thing I can do is take him out. He don't want to play. I'm not finna put him back in for what? He just sat down in the middle of the fucking game. he gave him a touchdown. Like we're down 6 right now because of him. I'm not putting him back in the game.
You can't pick the grass in the outfield on the stage.
Right. Unless he come back up to me and say, Coach, I want to go back in the game, and the other kid is dogging it, he's not going back. He got his 8 plays already. I'm not doing this for y'all.
All right, we touched on all of that stuff. We did all the heavy stuff. I got a bunch of other shit that I just got to ask you before we wrap up here.
All right, we're cleaning up. Come on.
What's your favorite candy bar? You can only have one candy bar for the rest of your life. It's the only one you can ever have. It's the only one that exists for you.
I'm gonna just get Snickers.
Snickers. You're a Snickers guy.
It's got the most shit in it.
Got the most shit in it.
Yeah.
So you're just like, what about a Take 5?
That's too much shit. Like, what the fuck is going on in here?
I don't
What's a
trust
Take
it.
5?
Yeah.
Take 5 is an amalgamation of a bunch of other. It's made by the same people that make Kit Kats, I believe.
That shit got pretzels,
I thought it was
pretzels,
Reese's.
peanut
nougat-
butter.
it's Reese's, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
pretzels, peanut butter.
Oh, okay. I know. All right.
Yeah.
I know. What
Caramel.
You're talking
Yeah, it
That's
is a
too
lot
much.
for me too. I'm a simple man. That answer is always different for me, but I like a whatchamacallit, but I think I gotta go Kit Kat. I think I gotta go Kit Kat.
A Kit Kat is classic. Have you had a churro Kit Kat?
I have not.
My wife
Never
didn't
even
like
heard
it.
of
I
it.
was like, I don't know.
Yeah, there's so many different types of Kit Kats now, especially if you get into the international Kit Kat market.
Yeah.
Dude, the strawberry ones from the Asian market are
Yeah, right.
fucking ridiculous.
I've heard, yeah. They got the mint ones and all that.
I don't like how they do that.
You don't like how they change it?
How they give other markets better shit.
Well, it's not better shit. It's just that wouldn't sell in the sheets. You know what I mean?
Nah, but they got them Wagyu fucking steak chips like they sell in Japan,
Oh yeah.
Okay.
and like apparently they the shit, and they don't sell them here. Like you got to get a busing box, which is
Yes. That's
yeah,
what I'm talking about.
yeah. You got a busing box.
No, I ain't got money, bro.
Right. Yeah, I ain't paying for that. But
Yeah, if you ain't getting therapy, you can't get a buzzer box.
hell nah, I can't even get a fucking what's that shit? A bespoke box. I did this shit for like
Yeah.
1 month. I was like, oh, what is this $45? God damn. Oh, I'm gonna sit this back. I don't want this hatchet. In this competition, I'm not doing none of this shit.
That's a good. So you said the Wagyu chips. So if you can only have one bag of chips for the rest of your life,
Doritos.
Doritos,
Red
You go
bag.
Doritos. Red bag Doritos.
Really?
You know they got ketchup
Red.
Doritos now?
Yeah.
I want the mustard ones.
Really?
I'm surprised with
saw
the
them. They
red.
have
Usually
mustard.
Isn't
blue.
it? I
But
think
I
you
haven't
were
found
alive. I think the three of us, not Seth,
Yeah,
were
probably.
alive when Cool Ranch Doritos came out.
Yeah. Yeah, because it used to be like just red Doritos.
just red Doritos.
It was just Doritos.
And then I was like, oh, these Cool Ranch pretty fucking delicious. And now you can't imagine a world without Cool Ranch.
Right.
I can't.
Like I actually get kind of. You shouldn't. That world shouldn't even exist, honestly. But,
It's the end of the Cold War, right? That's how the Cold War ended. The Cold
I
Ranch
was at the
Doritos.
height of the Cold War. Honestly, I think it was like the Cold War didn't really end until
91,
Clinton.
right? Yeah.
All right, I got 3 more questions, and we'll get through these really quick. Would you rather have foot ears or ear feet?
I forgot I put that on there.
Foot ears, so your ears look like feet, or feet ears, where your feet look like ears.
ear feet.
Ear feet.
No,
Okay.
foot ears.
Foot ears, yeah.
I'd rather have ears on my face. I guess.
All right.
Feet on my face. I guess.
Yeah, the orthotics would suck with ear feet, I feel like.
One
Yeah.
fast food restaurant for the rest of your life. You can only have that one.
Freddy's frozen custard.
Freddy frozen custard. What's
I-
your order from Freddy's?
Single steak burger with fries and Freddy sauce and a damn and a shake.
Okay.
Yes. They got good smash burgers there.
Man, I fuck with them. I love them.
Yeah, they're
I
good.
mean, it's kind of high.
Yeah.
And here's the last one, and then we'll wrap up on this. How do you make a PB&J, right? So your peanut butter and jelly sandwich. What type of bread do you have everything in house? You go to grab your bread. What kind of bread is it?
Wheat bread,
Wheat bread. And then you got jelly. What kind of jelly is it?
strawberry jelly.
Strawberry jelly. You got peanut butter. What kind of peanut
It's
butter?
crunchy.
It's crunchy.
Yeah.
You go into the drawer to grab a utensil. What do you grab?
Butter knife or a spoon.
You grab a butter knife or a spoon.
Yeah.
And then you take that butter knife.
And I go peanut butter.
Is it depending on mood or what's available? The
What's
butter knife
available?
and spoon?
What's right
Okay.
there? What do I see? That
You got
looks
everything.
finished?
You got everything at your disposal.
Yeah.
You go in. You grab a butter knife, and it's peanut butter first.
Peanut butter first. It's
And
always,
that goes on-
always peanut butter first.
And that goes on one piece of bread,
One piece of bread.
and then
It goes on thick to light, and then I take the fork or the spoon and I wipe the dry bread with the peanut butter, and
Yeah.
then I go jelly
and then you go jelly.
because I don't get peanut butter in the jelly.
And then the jelly goes on the other piece of bread,
Yes,
and then those go together.
Yes.
And then you cut it. And how do you cut it?
diagonal,
Diagonal.
all crust. Keep all the crust on it. The crust is the best part. That's,
yeah,
that's the best
yeah.
part of the bread.
All right, so it's not peanut butter on both pieces, but it is a little bit of peanut butter just to get the.
But that's just waste peanut butter, honestly.
That's just
It's not
wasted
really-
Waste peanut
I'm
butter.
not, I just
Residue.
don't. I just do not fuck with peanut butter or jelly inside of the other container.
See, this is where a lot of people get mad at me because
Oh,
I
it's so
love those jars that have the peanut butter and the jelly in it.
That's different.
Gross.
Yeah, it is different.
It's not like
It's not that gross, dude.
it's not that
Uh.
gross. I've done it before. It's not something my kids fuck with. You know what I'm saying?
I just think the ratio gets thrown too far.
the
Yeah.
ratio
As you-
does get
As
thrown
you
off.
go into the jar,
The
it does
deeper you-
not stay a consistent ratio.
Mhm.
It's only good a third to halfway through. Once
If
you
it
get
was
into-
in like a toothpaste tube, like
Came out-
Crest,
yeah.
like
Mm.
Colgate or whatever, where you're squeezing it out.
Aquafresh.
Aquafresh.
Yeah.
Remember the
Yeah.
Different colors, yeah.
All right, so Jiffy or whoever makes that goober stuff, if you do that, Boodro needs his fucking credit. All right, if you put it in a squeeze tube, you know what I'm saying?
like a caulking gun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Or like a flamethrower. Do it like a
That's
flamethrower.
not a bad idea, you know, because the way they got ketchup and shit now. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With the lid at the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
No
Going
cap.
to that's a pretty hefty improvement in the ketchup industry.
And
right?
what took so
Going
long?
from a glass bottle where you had to.
It really
Yeah.
speaks to technology, dude.
It really speaks to technology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the thing about it is glass was being made, I don't know, 6,000 or 7,000 years before plastic.
Yeah,
So,
that's fair.
Yeah.
We finally caught up. We caught up.
Man, we know
I
what
don't
we're
know
doing.
exactly when ketchup was in.
All right, those are all the very important questions I have
Oh,
for you.
all right. Well, you know what I'm saying? This is a dope tap. You know what I'm saying? Estelle, she gonna go home. She probably gonna cry.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, you're crying. Don't cry. People get tattoos every day.
No crying at a funeral.
Yeah.
But you know who's crying at a funeral? Estelle.
Yeah.
Estelle and these two.
So when you talk
Boo-hooing.
about crying with your daughters, are you pretty much like you got to cry all the time? Cry
Nah,
whenever
I'm
you-
just like, if you cry if you need to. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you feel, don't fight it. You know what I'm saying? If something fucked up happened, you know what I'm saying? If you get real sad, you need to cry. You know what I'm saying? Like, because, and the thing about my grandma's funeral was I was damn near cried out by the time I got there. Like, I did, that's my uncle, before he said, it was around that same conversation, he was like, I told him I was kind of disappointed because I didn't get to put grandma in a limousine. I didn't get famous or nothing. He was like, what are you going to do? I was like, shit, you know, I'm pretty funny. I wanted to do comedy. He's like, you can still do comedy. So he said something toxic on one hand, but on the other hand, he helped light a fire under. He put me on the spot, made me do a bit that I don't hardly do, but I do it. But I can do it because it's a story. You know what I'm saying? It's like I tell you how much this didn't take that long. So my people, you know where Highway 84 is at in Mississippi, right above Natchez, in between Natchez. Yeah. So we on Highway 84. We right off Highway 84, in between Roxy and Natchez. No, in between Bude and Roxy, right there by Kirby. It's a nice little bowl area. You know what I'm saying? My grandparents' house is in a recessed little area, 9 acres, little bitty house. You know what I'm saying? Nice shed, chicken coop in the back, 2 big ass hills for a driveway. So we only had one bike at the time. You know what I'm saying? And damn, I'm shooting hoops and shit, and my uncle damn on the bike fucking around. He just keep getting on the bike. He'll ride for a minute, get off, park it real close to me, go fuck off for a second.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, hey, I'm finna ride the bike. Yo, get off my bike. Get my bike. You know what I'm saying? Come back and take his bike and then ride off and then fuck off and then ride back down and then get off his bike and then go fuck off for a minute. And then I come pick the bike up. He's like, get off my bike. And then finally I got the bike and I rode off up the hill. Now these is nice size fucking hills. This is probably about 250 meters of driveway. You know what I'm saying? So I can get, you know what I'm saying? I can get some
How many
speed.
joules is that?
Yeah.
How many what?
It was a conversation from earlier, man.
So my granddaddy out there doing, he getting ready to do a controlled burn, because in Mississippi you don't fucking rake leaves up. You just fucking burn the yard. Right?
That's awesome.
And yeah, it is. And then I go up the hill and Andrew followed me, you know what I'm saying? I didn't follow him one time.
Right.
He followed me, you know what I'm saying? And my granddad like, hey, leave him alone. Let him ride the bike. You've been riding the bike all the time. I see you fucking with him. You're only riding it because he want to ride it. Let him ride the bike, Andrew. And I'm like, yeah, Andrew, let me ride the bike. And I'm going by him and shit. You know what I'm saying? He pulling on my arm and shit while I'm going down the hill. I'm going regular bike speed. I'm not a speed demon.
Regular bike.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm hitting the brakes coming down the hill because this is a real hill. Like this ain't no, you know what I'm saying? This ain't no fucking High Point or Greensboro hill. Like this shit got some
break.
Yeah. And so I get to the top of the hill and he's standing in the middle of the driveway. And I'm like, Andrew, if you don't get out the way, I'm gonna hit you with this bike. And my granddaddy said, don't you hit him with that bike. Now I look at my granddaddy, I said, tell him to move. I look at Andrew like, you didn't get my bike. And I'm like, yo, get out the way. And my granddad like, don't you hit him with that bike. Andrew, move. You know what I'm saying? Because at this point, I've been living with them for a while and we're two little boys in a house. This is a part of the reason why I'm not, you know what I'm saying? If I have a son, awesome. If I don't, okay.
Yeah.
Because me and this dude used to throw hands, like I'm talking about like punches to the face almost every day or every other day for the 4th and 5th grade. Mm-hmm. Like that was our 4th and 5th grade was abusing each other. You know what I'm saying? Was stealing off on each other, was doing petty shit to each other and then retaliating. Mm-hmm. So my granddaddy knew I wasn't bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like he knew in his heart and soul, he was like, if my son don't move out the way, my grandson is about to impale him with these handlebars. And I look at Andrew and he look at me and he's settled in. I say, all right, motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? So I go down the hill and he moved at the last minute. And my granddad said, hey, don't you hit him with that bike. As a matter of fact, get off the bike. And I'm like, nah, I ain't even rode a bike, but now I ain't rode a bike in peace yet. I'm not getting off this bike. And so I go to the top of the hill and my granddad like, Andrew, leave him alone. Eric, don't you hit him with that bike. I looked at my granddaddy, I looked at Andrew, and I fucking kicked that pedal, and I'm digging down the hill. Like, I'm fucking hitting it. You know what I'm saying? And I look at, and I'm like, hey. And he look at me, and all of a sudden, I stop. You know what I'm saying? And I stopped because I hit him. and he folded over the handlebars. And I flipped off the bike. So I'm flipping in the air. And while I'm flipping, I see my granddaddy moving towards us. Yeah. And I'm flipping, I'm like, it go concrete sky granddaddy. And I see him go in his jumpsuit and pull off his belt while I'm flipping. And then I hit the ground. And I'm like, shit. And then he walking over to us. I'm like, fuck, he about to beat my ass. And he picked Andrew up and he beat the shit out of Andrew.
ESTELLE, right?
Yeah. Oh. I mean, we in it now, bro. I was like, damn.
I guess I got to change how I spell her name.
I was like, yeah.
It's still good news, bad news. Yeah, I got a tattoo.
Got your tatted, but you spell your name with one L now. So,
yeah. Your name now has 2 R's. Right. And I don't know how they got there.
A sterile.
Man, I really do appreciate you sharing yourself with us. And man, this is a good episode.
Yeah, I had fun. Yeah. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, dude. Thank you.
So if you want a tattoo, you gotta holler at Boodro. He got security.
I'm doing tattoos now too, so you know what I mean.
You got Shorty don't give a fuck. One at a time, though. That's how you mitigate the risk. You just do one tattoo at a time. Like
I do two tattoos at the same time.